Welcome. This is week one. Bears football coach, Coach Sofet. Thank you for joining me so much.
Absolutely.
I think we're going to make a habit out of doing this, is the idea.
That sounds cool, man.
I think we should do a weekly
Let's do it.
podcast. Coach Sofet is joining me here. I wanted to thank you. I wanted to play for you some very cool custom jams. Loosen us up a little bit. Very informal. We want to start out with obviously talking football today.
Yes, sir.
It's been a pleasure to get to know you. Check 1, 2. It's been a pleasure to work alongside you. I'm so excited for this week's home game. Austin, who are we playing this week?
Austin Achieve. We're super excited as well. So it's always nice to play in front of the home crowd, not have to get on a bus and drive away. That'll be more than half of our year, but we're excited to go. Another day. Practice. You can see the field right there. We're ready to go.
It's a beautiful field here at Somerset. Now, how many home games do you have this year in total?
So we have 3. We do play a couple in San Antonio against road opponents. There is a possibility of another one getting moved to home, but it's not finalized yet. But we do play this week on the 5th, and then we play on October the 10th, which is our homecoming game.
Okay, October 10th.
And then our last one, which is senior night on, I believe it's November the 6th or the 7th, whatever that Friday is. Possibility of another one in October.
That's good to know. So we might get one more home game.
Yeah, we might. It would be awesome.
Great. And you're expecting a packed stadium for Friday?
I am, especially with the band and the color guard being part of this production and the cheerleaders and everything that we've been able to put together as a school. I expected a lot of people to come out. I tell the kids, I talk about them all the time. I talk about us and what we do here. And, we got a chance to visit with UTSA coaches and do different things. I was able to tell the Somerset story. And so it's exciting, to have another opportunity this week to go out and get better from, what happened on Friday, because that's about life. Sometimes you get knocked down, but it's not about how you get knocked down. It's about how you get back up and keep rolling. So that's what we're looking forward to this week.
Absolutely. And I've taken some time. First of all, once again, I want to thank you for joining and for being a guest this week. I hope that we can make this a habit. So we had a few questions yesterday that I jotted down for you. We certainly don't have to get through all of this, but I do want to start with the beginning of the season. So far, bring us up to speed here. We've had 2 scrimmages. And last Friday, we had the first game of the season, which was an away game. And that was where?
That was in Charlotte. So we've had our 2 scrimmages. We played against Center Point and Dehaney's. We do see them later in the year. We play one, I believe, week 5 and the other week 9, which is rare. Sometimes teams don't scrimmage against teams they play later in the year, but scrimmages is really getting out there. You're adding new kids. We kind of have new coaches and new system that we're running. And so able to kind of put that to work, put it on film and let the kids see it. The scrimmages were successful. We were able to host them at home. We had a good amount of people come out and support. We did one, the first week of school, we were already rocking and rolling with a scrimmage. And, and then we went to Charlotte on Friday. We ended up losing 58-14. And it's a good learning experience. Everybody wants to go undefeated, but, it was just one of those games where it went wrong. It just kind of snowballed from there. And, like I tell the kids, you got to look yourself in the mirror and ask it. But I always do that myself. And I'm like, what could I have done better? What could we have coaches have done better? I told him it was a rough game. I said about the only thing I felt that went right is that we won the coin toss. It felt that way, at least from the coaching side, adjustments and different things kind of on the run really just didn't go in our favor. And, it's a good opportunity to come back this week and get in front of the home crowd, play at home, play where the kids are familiar, and kind of get this thing up and rolling in the positive direction. Some things, we kind of talked about this week. I kind of gave them Monday off. I was like, hey, watch some film on your own. And then we got back together every Monday or Tuesday. We do a study hall. And then on top of that, I do a PowerPoint every week to kind of set the tone for the week. And the word I put up there is accountability. It's one of our pillars. It's one of the things I told them is going to be accountability week. If you play around, you get upset, you throw your helmet, you do cuss, do whatever, you're going to run a lap and then you can come back and join the team. I said, I think things are, I got to tighten the ship back up, and making sure that, our thing is row the boat.
Mhm.
That's what we've been talking about this
Row the
year.
boat.
So our ship has to be good, and I got to tighten it up and make sure that we're where we need to be. And the kids saw that yesterday in practice, and kind of taking a different approach this week. And even adding the word adjustments, I let them know we have to make some adjustments. So we're putting some kids in different positions and making some adjustments on the offense and the defense to try to put kids in better positions so we're more successful as a team.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note that I've been told this is only the second season for 11-man football at Somerset Collegiate.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
And as I've written down here, how amazing it is to see how quickly you're developing this program. And we just appreciate all that you do. And I'm so excited to call these games and be a part of it. So I wanted to ask you, as far as this year, your schemes I know this is top secret information, but are there any things that you're emphasizing, maybe based on your personnel, that you feel like is working for you right now, such as maybe RPOs, play action passing, et cetera? Any kind of strategy that you're finding is the go-to?
So just in case our opponents are watching, I'm not going to give too much.
Yeah, this is classified information, folks.
It is, and that's what I tell the kids behind the scenes. Our playbook and what we do on film, that's our stuff, not to leak out. Like we've worked on that stuff. We put the playbook together. We're just trying to play to the kids' strengths. Sometimes we want to do what we want to do, but we're able to, put together a good call sheet and a good plays that the kids are comfortable with. We're trying some different things this week to play to our strengths on especially on the offensive side, but also on the defensive side, just so we can put kids in better positions to be successful. And just trying to keep things the same. We've tried to keep some of the stuff that we did last year, some of the terminology on some stuff, but at the same time, we don't have the same exact coaching staff. And so trying to change some things up so the kids can learn easier, and because we got new kids coming in too. So some of them didn't play with us last year. And so making sure that they're caught up to speed and they're ready to go. And so if you want to see the RPOs, play actions, and all that stuff, you got to come out on Friday and see them.
There you go. That's the message. And I will be there for sure. 7 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Right here at home.
Yes,
Bears
sir.
Stadium. I cannot wait. I am going to go absolutely bonkers.
I'm ready. I know Corey's happy that you're here too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm working on some soundtrack stuff with the team. We're working on a hype video for the team. I'm adding some sound effects such as, where is it? Oh,
is that the crickets? There's the crickets.
We got crickets in the house. So we're going to try to make this into a real experience. And as you said before, the band, I was over there yesterday. They're working hard, preparing new beats, new cadences, new pieces of music for you guys. So it's truly a campus-wide effort of cooperation. Everybody's coming together to make this happen. It's a lot of fun to see.
It is, especially from the pep rallies and different things. You definitely saw the band. I mean, it was awesome. And then having the color guard and with the flags and all that stuff, it definitely has a different feel.
And the cheer squad, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that everybody's taking their game up a notch. Yeah. You can definitely tell that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to see. The booster club, everybody's coming together to make this an event. It's just incredible.
There's a lot of hands on deck on a Friday night, but like I say, I want to thank everybody who has a hand in that. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's for the kids. It's for the kids' experience and for the kids to go out and show what they can do. That's what it's about. I'll be the behind the scenes guy, but let all the kids get all the credit.
Right. Well, so it sounds like at this point, the Bears football team is 0-1. One game in the books. It's a tough loss. The score is steep, but nonetheless, what are you doing to keep the players encouraged right now and motivated? I'm sure that that was a tough loss. Any words of wisdom on how you're keeping their heads up?
Taking a different approach this week on positivity. There's, and again, like I said, on the accountability stuff, the coaches are involved in that too. I mean, sometimes the officials and different things can let us kind of get off our game. And so even this week, when we spot the ball, I'm like, and they're like, Coach, no, I'm like, nope, that's where the ball's going. Do not talk to the referee. Like it's really one of those things that I think that we haven't done the little things. And I always tell the kids too, little things make the big things happen.
Yeah.
And so for me as well, just coach the kids, just let them do their thing. and go in there with a different approach of a more positivity approach this week, and really trying to, okay, what do you not understand that we're doing so I can teach you? And so ask questions. Like, it's okay to ask questions. It's okay not to know. Hey, coach, what gap am I supposed to cover? Hey, coach, what route am I supposed to run on this play again? Okay, if they're doing this, what am I supposed to do? Instead of them just guessing on what they're supposed to do, you know, and even communication on offense and defense. Like, I'm telling you, y'all got to talk more. Like, y'all like to talk. So talk, communicate.
Now's the time.
Yeah. And so really just keeping it positive. You know, practice yesterday was great. Getting them back out there. You know, we have a couple guys banged up and different things, but, you know, it's next guy up. You know, I feel we were doing a good job of prepping everybody. So we're just going to keep rolling what we're doing.
Yeah. And speaking of injuries, I think you were telling me that we've had a quarterback injury, a couple other players banged up, and now you're having what was it, halftime last game? You've had to go to another quarterback.
Yeah,
how does that affect your scheme, and what adjustments are you making now with essentially a new quarterback?
So, you know, it's not good to have anybody injured. I want all the kids to be healthy. And if, you know, if they're not producing, then we can kind of sub them out, but we always can use them again. You know, he was ready. I mean, I think the scrimmage kind of told us one thing, because we went into the scrimmage not really giving guys second team reps.
Okay.
And so we made that change going into week 1. And so he was ready when we were in there. He had taken reps, he'd taken snaps, and we were letting the quarterback share the reps and different things. So he was ready to go. Like I said, scheme wise, I'm going to, just in case Austin and Cheese watching, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do, but
fair enough.
You know, he's ready, you know, and I think the team is ready too. They're rallying around everybody. I mean, that's what the culture that we're trying to do, is just rally around the next guy up, you know, and injuries are a terrible thing. You know, you don't want to see any kid get hurt, but it is football. I mean, kids get hurt in volleyball, they get hurt in basketball, you know, and you got to make sure you have every kid ready to be the next guy up and ready to go.
Yeah, that's a good point. And speaking of some of your personnel this year, who is the new quarterback? Who's playing quarterback now?
Right now it's going to be Caden Jones.
Okay, Caden Jones. Right.
Yeah, Julian was our starter. Yeah, he is my son, but he got a little knee injury. We'll know a little bit more, but it's just it's about Caden's got the ball this week, and we're taking it a week at a time. Like we have one of the pictures that I put up on the PowerPoint is a bear climbing up a mountain. And we always talk about 12-6 being the state championship game, and that's where our peak is. That's where we're trying to go. That's what we want to do. But what are the steps to get there? Yeah. And I tell them, like, there's gonna be times we're climbing the mountain, we're gonna slip. I said we slipped this week, and we just have to keep going. That picture is not going anywhere. Like, that's going to be the picture that we use our pillars, you know, this week's accountability, and whatever comes out of this game, maybe next week's a different pillar, you know, what is the pillar for next week that we got to use and to try to keep everybody focused on what our goal is. And it's a week by week thing. You know, guys get hurt, you know, the other team we play, guys get hurt. We could play in the rain. We could play when it's cold. Like, you don't know your environment. So every week's a different week, and you just have to prep and make sure that we're doing our part.
Yeah. You mentioned Caden Jones. Who are some of the other leaders on the football team? I know you guys have captains. Is there anybody else that you feel like right now is really stepping up to be a leader, to help the other guys to move forward after a tough loss?
Man, it seems like a lot of the upperclassmen are, you know, I know we have Daniel Mayers, keeping everybody, you know, upbeat, you know, hey coach, I'll play both sides of the ball. Hey coach, I got you. Hey coach, I'm ready to go. Cause we've talked about rotations, you know, and one of the things too, you know, when I called some of the guys in there, or when we watched the film, I was like, you got to be honest with yourself too. Like, when you made a mistake, like, I know you guys want to see yourself do something like really, really good, score touchdown, hit a guy hard, but when you did make a mistake, like, you have to be honest with yourself. And that's something that some of the guys, you know, Benicio's another one. He was like, yeah, coach, you know, you're right. That is what happened. And I was like, and that's why we're going to make some adjustments this week. Yeah. You know, keeping the glue of the team together. You know, especially with everything that's going on. You know, we got Ethan Garcia on the defense, calling the defense out, and he's doing a great job of really just being positive with the younger guys and saying, hey man, I just need you to go, the next time that play happens, I need you to just go fill that gap. I need you to go do that.
Right.
And he's like, all right. And the next play, the kid fills the gap. So it's really about just passing on that positivity this week. That's kind of been the thing that I'm trying to pass on, that, let's correct it, let's fix it, and let's move on and kind of be, better off for everybody.
Yeah, and we talked about a hype video. We're super excited about this. We've got several of the football players involved in kind of producing this video, and I think that the idea generally is that we want to create more awareness so that the students know when the games are, that our attendance is way up, and that the environment is absolutely just electric. What are some of the things that you might say to the student body here at Somerset to get them hyped up and encouraged to come to the games? Do you have any words of wisdom on that?
Yeah, come out. No.
Yeah, come out.
We're gonna have a big old bear head.
Oh yeah, the bear head.
And I call it the Corey show with the smoke and all that other stuff.
We got fireworks, we got pyrotechnics.
Yeah, they're excited about that part. And that's something that we haven't done. I mean, yes, we play teams and they run out of the thing and they play the school song and different things. And that's something different for us to come out of it this year and be able to come out. We do have our little entrance that we normally would do, but this is definitely something that takes things to the next level and definitely gets the kids excited. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's about the kids. They're the ones out there playing. They're the ones out there, putting in hard work, and they got to go to school too at the same time. Like, I go home at the end of the day, I have my roles and responsibilities, but they go home, they have homework. And then on top of that, I'm asking to watch film because we record practices and like, hey, let's make these adjustments, watch it. So they got a lot on their plate. So when they get to run out on a Friday night and really just show what they get to do, I always tell them, I said, I want to hear the fight song multiple times. I want to hear it. I don't, let's make it keep playing over and over. I know they're pumped. I know we've talked about it. I always tell them, at practice, look at the bleachers, there's nobody there, but on Friday night, it's going to be packed. So let's put in the hard work now to make Friday night fun and electric, like you said.
Absolutely. I cannot wait. And that leads right into the next question. I see the dedication of these players. It's 105 degrees out on that field, and they are absolutely rocking it. They're staying after school. They're committed. They're in the weight room. It's inspiring to see. How do you feel like, if you have any words on how do you feel that this is going to impact their life in a positive way moving forward, as far as functioning in life, being a high functioning person? Do you feel like football in your program is making an impact for these players, not just on the field, but also off the field?
I do. And you said it, you said commitment. And that's something that's also one of our pillars, is for them to stick with something and stay committed to it. There's been some rough moments already, and we're only a month in, but stay committed to what we're doing. I don't preach anything different. What the standard and the pillars and the stuff that we've been teaching them. Yes, we've added new plays and some adjustments off plays, but everything else that we've been teaching has been consistent, and especially, out in the real world, there's going to be times when things are rough and you just got to stay committed to it. Everything's not going to be great all the time. You're going to have bumps in the road. Things are going to happen at home. Things are going to happen in your life, and just staying committed to the process and knowing that you put the hard work in, good things do happen. I tell them my story all the time and really tell them like, hey, things happen for a reason, and you just got to continue to stick with it. And commitment, I think, is definitely the number one thing, setting them up. I always tell them at the end of the day, my job is to put you out, and this is for all the athletes, is to put you out into the real world to be a successful person, not just an athlete. And if we do the athlete part, we double did our job, but be a successful person in life, because the percentages of athletes playing at the next level, they just go smaller and they go smaller as you go up. Now, we'd love to have it. We had 5 athletes sign last year and different things, but really just being able to set them up to be successful. Like, some kids have gotten married lately and they're like, hey, coach, here, I'd invite you to my wedding. Those are the things, setting them up in life is what's important to me, because at the end of the day, that's ultimately when they have their families and they do their things. That's ultimately what we're trying to get them to be, successful people, and using football as a tool through it. And again, they probably see it in me too, like certain weeks, I might be one way and then the other way and different things. And my job is to lead them. And at the end of the day, like I said, I got to look myself in the mirror, and am I doing everything 100% to prepare these kids for the game? They're looking to us and Coach Freeman and Coach Walker, Coach Mendez and Coach Jones. And we communicate behind the scenes to make sure that we're we're on the same page for the kids and make sure that we're putting in the right game plan and the right adjustments. There are some things on Friday, like the first adjustment I would make would put one of the guys in the booth so we could get a higher view. We were down a coach. And so I was like, hey, I just need as many people on the sideline. But this week we're going to make that adjustment. Like we've talked about things that are already going to, be different. And so, like I said, it's about that. And that's in life too. You got to make adjustments on things.
Yes.
Whether you want this cable company or you want this cell phone company or whatnot, you got to make adjustments. And so at the end of the day, you go home, you're disappointed, but the season's not over is what I told them. Like it's just 1 week. And what I sent out to everybody on Sunday was, to kind of, I try to put it into life where they can get a visualization of it. And I'm like, Texas lost, Alabama lost, and UTSA lost.
And
all three
Notre
of them
Dame as well.
And Notre Dame. And guess what? All 4 of those schools are now coming home this week to play their home opener at 0-1. So are we.
Good point.
Why can't we be 1-1? Like, let's just win this week and be 1-0 this week. But our record out this league, let's be 1-1. Like, there's no that's really happening to other schools who put in the amount of work, probably maybe more work than we do with the rules that they get to play under, but and the time that they have and the off-season programs that they have. But again, at the same time, we're in the same boat. Like we're 0-1 and we got to get back to work. And so to them, I was like, hey, let's get back to work. The ultimate goal is still in front of us, take it a week at a time and we go from there.
Yeah. And once again, you've kind of segued into the final question that I had for you with naming some of your coaching staff. But we alluded to this earlier. There's just such a large framework of people coming together to make these games happen. Is there anybody that you'd like to go ahead and give a shout out? Any unsung heroes that are just integral to your program, but maybe the average football fan wouldn't notice what they're putting in and how they're contributing to the overall product that you guys are putting on the field? Any shout outs you just want to deliver right now?
Well, first off, the parents.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones supporting us and picking their kids up every day and trusting us to coach them. I brought all the parents together after the game and said, hey, we're going to fix this thing, and because they're the support system, they're the number one support. And we're going to fix it. We've made that commitment. Us as coaches have, they were like, you challenged us when you made that comment. We have to get to work. And so, like I said, after yesterday's practice, I feel good about Friday. It's already Wednesday. We're chomping at the bit to get out there. But again, it's all about preparation. We're having a whole other day of practice. We have study hall before practice today.
Okay.
So we got to make sure we hit the classroom and make sure we're winning the classroom before we win on the field. And like I said, the things that you do in the daily at school, they roll over onto the field. I mean, whatever you do throughout the week in your preparation, how you act, if you're in uniform, are you late to school? Are you late to class? Are you doing all those things? Are you doing the right things when people aren't looking? They play a factor on a Friday night. So those are things really trying to hit home with them and make sure we do. But and after them, I would say the athletic trainers, making sure the kids always have water, and making sure in the program that Coach Sandoval has put together, just really making sure these trainers are ready to go. And, they do a great job with our athletes. And so especially we've needed more water than anything lately. So they've done a great job with the water and filling it back up. And coach, we need ice from this ice machine because it lasts longer and just making sure we're staying hydrated.
Yes.
And so and also, we've had parents and volunteers come down to help with the chains through the game, because those are some extra things you got to do. So the parents who have stepped up and helped with the chains and the markers, because I know it's tough because you can't go over there and cheer and do that, but we need those 3 people and they can't be students because we're 11 man, not 6 man. Like there are some things we could get away with that we can't get away with anymore.
I see.
And so just having the support from there, and one of the dads comes down, he's one of the booster members, Mr. Keith Unasco, and he comes down and he's pumped up for Friday nights, and he's like, the concessions is good and I'm coming to do the down marker, and he's super like, that's it. Yeah, I love it. And that's what it's about. It's about filtering it to other areas to where people are excited about, Friday night, and his daughter plays volleyball for us and softball for us, but he's always like, how's football team looking? Like he asked me that question. I'm like, hey man, we're ready to go. And so, like having people invested in it and excited about it. Our booster club, I hope you guys come hungry on Friday. They're gonna have a big, good old concession stand full of food. And they're the next person. It's hard to rank all them. Like I really think the parents have to be number one because they're the ones picking their kids up and stuff. But everybody here is just a support system.
Yeah.
And then on the, and with the booster club, just supporting what y'all need. We got concessions running for everybody. What are the needs of the teams? And there's been needs on the volleyball program and different things that they've been able to help out, that are happening like right now. So that's super, super exciting. And we're excited to do that and sign up for the clinics as well. We have clinics coming up for volleyball, football after their seasons are over. So elementary kids sign up for the clinics. And so we do those clinics that they put on for, the players to run. The players run them. The varsity teams run these clinics. Yeah. For the elementary kids, get kids excited about the sports that we have to offer here.
That's amazing.
The list could keep going, man. I mean, the support goes down to the administration at the school.
Yes.
The support goes down to the teachers. And then on the flip side, my job is to support the teachers, and to support them in what they're trying to get accomplished in the classroom, making sure our kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And with that, with the teacher part, I have 4 players every week give a jersey out to a teacher or somebody who makes an impact on them.
Oh, wow.
And so we had 4 guys last week that cannot repeat the same 4 teachers till we get through like almost the whole campus.
Okay.
They're not allowed to give me the jersey. I said, none of us coaches are that person. You have to go find somebody else out there in the thing. And I said, think of the custodians, think of the lunch ladies.
Yeah, good point.
Think of all those people who make an impact on your day that you don't even think about. I was like, who do you think comes down here and cleans our locker room when we're in the morning, when you guys are at school? Who do you think's cooking the food? Those are things you guys got to think about. There's more to this puzzle. And so letting those people be recognized, and then they wear that player's jersey for the day and they get recognized at the pep rally if they can make the pep rally. And so, like I said, I put it on them and I said, you guys discuss who you're picking and then your reason. And sometimes, I let them share it with the team. Sometimes I don't. I wish I could, if we had like an extra 10 hours a week, I'd probably let them all stand up there and talk and why they're doing it. But, we're limited on time throughout the week and different things. So, but just being able to get everybody involved, because that's what it is. That's about how you get a community and a culture of a school is getting everybody involved. Like I said, our volleyball team plays on Thursday night. When we finish our walkthrough, I'm going to tell them all to go up there to go support the volleyball team, because that's what it's about. It's about creating that community and that continuity. I know the volleyball team wants to come to our game on Friday, but they're headed out of town to Aggie Land this weekend to go play in a out of city, out of town tournament. So Coach Gilmore and his crew will be up there, the varsity girls, varsity boys. So like I said, we got a lot going on. Cross country's already started. I want to do, like I said, I know we talking football and that's what, here, but there's other sports that are going on too with the cross country, our middle school flag program, our middle school volleyball. We have so much going on a daily basis and nightly basis. And it's exciting to see all those kids, out there excited to be a Bear, and, even the elementary flag was the first team to play out of our football program between the middle school and us, the first real game. And so I let them come break down the huddle and we gave them their props and, hey man, great job. And different, because that's how it is. Those guys are going to be Bears on Friday night at some point, and you have to build it from the bottom up. And so, like I said, we're excited. Friday's going to be a challenge because, we're coming in with a team who didn't have a week 1. They had a bye week 1. So,
that's good to know.
So, we're coming in with the film we've got of them. They have film on us. That's what we do. You exchange film. And, so we're going in as prepared as we do. We got to be great at what we do. And, hopefully Friday night, put up some points and come home with a win. And
I got a good feeling about it.
I do too. Like I said, we're excited. And, there's a day at a time process. You can only, Coach Jones said it the best. And I think it's the best way to end the podcast. He said, you guys like Legos? And all the kids raised their hands. And he was like, well, isn't it exciting when you put the final piece of the Lego together? He goes, right now we're building. And he goes, Friday night's when you put the final piece on. And then we're complete. So that's kind of been the slogan. We're Legos this week, and just keep building that Lego.
Excellent. Once again, thank you so much, Coach Sofet. I'm so excited for the game. Thank you for taking the time to share this podcast with me.
Absolutely, man. We're excited. And go Bears. Come out Friday night, 7 p.m.
Go Bears Friday night. right, we'll roll some jams and we'll get back to our class and building these Legos. But thank you again for your
Absolutely.
time. I'm just loving getting to know you, and let's keep it going.
Yes, sir. Go Bears.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach Sofet.